Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. A talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com, for more info. Email me through benji@alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcasts. People of Distinction is internationally syndicated solely due to the love and support that you all continue to give. We're available across all major distributors, and as long as you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. Now sit back and strap in, because on the line with us today, we have the impressive Taylor Russell Stone. Now we're going to be discussing Taylor's groundbreaking book, Holy Revelation, I Am the Lord. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble, man, it is a lot of other places. I'm telling you, the best thing you can do is simply type it into a search bar and be greeted with all of them. You're going to want to make sure that you get the latest edition, because this is a book you're absolutely going to want to add to your shelf. Before I go any further, I want to quickly point out the fact that Taylor was brought to us by Author Reputation Press. So for my writers out there who have gone through their process, listen, man, if you need some assistance moving that masterpiece that you just put your blood, sweat, and tears into creating, head on over to authorreputationpress.com and gather all of the ways that their fantastic team is going to help you do just that. And listen, it is an absolute pleasure to have Taylor here on the line. People, trust me when I tell you, man, this is one you're going to want to be seated for, okay? Get ready. This discussion is just the beginning. You're going to want to pick up copies of this book. What if the Bible's greatest revelation isn't in the words, but it's actually hidden in the numbers beneath them? Okay, now listen, follow me here for a second, okay? What if your own name could be the key to unlocking a divine code? That's a bold statement. That is a bold question. And my guest today, Taylor, he claims to have cracked it, right? In his book, Holy Revelation, I Am the Lord, he uses a radical form of mathematical theology to confirm the identity of God himself. Man, listen, I told you, this is one you're going to want to sit down, strap in, have your notebooks ready for, because we're about to dive into the ultimate conspiracy of truth. Here we go. Taylor, first and foremost, man, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest. How you doing today, sir?
Fine, you?
Taylor, I am fantastic, man, and I am looking forward to this discussion. You are making some bold statements with this book, and I'm here for it, brother, okay? I want to dive in. First and foremost, let's start off at the foundation and build up from there. Tell us more about yourself.
I'm a graduate of Bethesda-Chevy Chase High School in Bethesda, Maryland, and I was president of the student body in my junior college, and then I went into the U.S. Air Force during the Vietnam War, served 4 years honorably discharged as staff sergeant. I have a degree from Montgomery Junior College, Associate of Arts degree. I have a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of College and University of Maryland. I enjoy cooking. I like writing poetry, and I collect music. I got interested in numbers in the 90s. Numerology, and I applied it to the Bible, and I determined using the numerological table, which I used in a different mode, I was able to determine the values of the manual's name, 9441533, and then I did research. And I decided, because I wanted to identify myself, I wanted a process whereby I could, my particulars, personal particulars and data would match up with the personification of the Lord, and thus present A equals A, if A equals B and B equals A is B and B is A, and that was set me on the process of writing my book.
Thank you very much for that backdrop, man. We're going to jump right in, and you've already introduced numerology. So let's focus on that here for a second, because listen, assigning numerical values to letters, it exists in many forms, right? Hebrew, Greek, English. That is in and of itself not a new concept, but I'm curious, did you develop a unique system for this work, or are you applying an existing historical cipher to the English text?
I use the numerological English value table, 1 through 9, A through I, J through R, and S through Z. And I use that instead of numerology reduces usually to one letter, one number, whereas the process I did was to use the letter values and just make the sum rather than reducing it.
Yeah.
And I found that on my research doing, I had a data stream flow where all this data was being downloaded to me, and I wrote it down, and I did the numerological values of the various statements, such as the Supreme Being, the Prince of Peace, the Father of Heaven. They all had numerological value of 70, not numerological, they all had a number value of 77, and then I continued to download, get information downloaded to me, and I collected it, and then I organized it and put it into different chapters, and I used my personal data to be equivocal to the various personifications of God. In other words, my first name equals 72, my birthday equals 27, first and last is 72 and 27 is 77, and that's what the Prince of Peace, the Supreme Being, and the Father of Heaven's number value is. So that's why equivalencies were what I was able to come up with. Lord of Hosts, first and last Lord of Hosts equal 19, and 19's the value of stone. Mr. Taylor's stone equals 77. So this is how I was able to do it, using my personal data. Now, one thing about my book is that it's verifiable. The data is verifiable. There's a table in the front which has the numbers 1 to 9, and then the letters across underneath in columns, and you can check the various amounts that the words contain if you want to verify the accuracy of it. So I wanted to make it so people could verify the validity and the truth, and to affirm my identity. So that was basically why I got interested in the new methodology.
Yeah.
Because I was able to download this information.
People, I'm going to say it again, man. It's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble. The book is entitled Holy Revelation, I Am the Lord. And I'm telling you, a lot of things are going to be revealed once you pick up copies of this amazing book. Head on over there and do just that. My follow-up question that I want to go into now, Taylor, and I want to continue along the lines, man, because you're talking about adding validity into your argument here. And I want to stick there for a second, man, because listen, there is undoubtedly those skeptics out there that are going to question anything. And listen, let's play both sides of the fence here. Let's be empathetic and try to view it from all perspectives. Working with numbers can oftentimes find patterns through coincidence or selective interpretation. Okay, now, what were your personal safeguards or the criteria that you utilized to ensure that a discovered pattern was genuinely revelatory and not a product of random patterns in your data? Can you explain that a little bit further, please?
Yeah, actually, that one of the things I checked on was because the Lord hid His face from the Jewish people. Permutations were necessary in certain cases to arrive at the number 77, 66, 53, and so on. But consistently, even using permutations, the figures came out to 77, and that was too much to be just a random possibility.
Yeah.
And also space, time, and continuum equals 77. And as the mystics of the Kabbalah believe, God is everywhere, and that would support that.
Okay. So listen, man, a great bridge that you established, because your book's description, right? It says, quote, "The Lord has hidden his face, so permutations of the word values will be made to reveal the aspects to which the phrase relates." And what I love about that is it suggests almost a divine game of hide and seek using mathematics, right? There's the puzzle to figure out that you have to go on this discovery path. Along that same line, man, was this process for you a discovery through permutation, one that you felt you were uncovering yourself, or was it one that you felt guided to create?
Yes, actually, I felt the permutations were necessary. Also, the 5 statements in Revelation that reveal the identity of God, first and last, the beginning and the end, the bright morning star, and Alpha and Omega, the root and offspring of David, Alpha and Omega. And you apply the first and the last to a lot of these personal data and the data specific to the tree of life, and you come up with amazing outcomes. It's not random. There is an intelligent design evident, and I was able to, with the data I was able to accrue, to put it into a equal pattern where, to my last name, Stone, if the S is equal to 1 is 0, 5, 0, N-E, is O-N-E, 6, 5, 5, which is 16, which is 8, 8 is 5, 3, 5, 3. Tone, T-O-N-E is 18, which is 9441. You put 9441 before the 5353. It spells Emmanuel. So things like that were hidden, and it had to manipulate the data to arrive at the proper solution. Would be a good word, because it's what you were trying to find.
Right. Taylor, man, listen, as we close out, because people, listen, you know what you got to do, okay? I'm not going to give it all away here today. We just wanted to scratch the surface, and trust me when I tell you, we did just that, okay? We barely scratched the surface. There is so much left to be uncovered. But following along the lines I've referenced a moment ago, your book's description. So continuing, the description ends by saying, "This book begins the process of the Lord manifesting." Okay, if it begins the process, I'm curious to know, man, what does the next stage of this manifestation look like in your vision?
Oh, actually, what will happen is the book itself is not meant to be. It's meant to be more than just a showing that the Lord is present right now. It's also to begin a dialogue with people, and to in the book, it also explains that Leviticus chapter 26, verse 12, and I shall walk among you and be your God. You shall be my people. In other words, it's like the Lord's introductory to the commentary to begin a dialogue with people.
People, listen, one thing is certain. The journey starts now, okay? You got to head on over to Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I said it a moment ago, I'm not going to give it all away here today, and neither is Taylor. Understand that once you head on over and you pick up copies of Holy Revelation, I Am the Lord, you are going to open your eyes to so much. It starts with this book, but I promise you it doesn't end there. The question isn't whether you believe in a higher power, but whether you're willing to look for the signature hidden in plain sight. It starts with this book. Taylor is going to help open your eyes to a mind-bending journey. So for everyone listening in right now, the real conversation, it starts now. What patterns will you find once you embark upon that journey? I'm curious to know. Keep on following, leave us the comments, and let us know where you go once you do just that. Taylor, this has been an absolute, just gratifying conversation, man. I really do mean that. Thank you once again for being a guest on People of Distinction.
Okay, thank you.